And over at that flame bench, there's all kinds of excitement going on there. Over at the penalty box, Jim Poplinski and Tim Hunter not dressed tonight at join Al McInnes. They've got their sweats on, and the Calgary Flames have won the Stanley Cup. We're the winners! We're the winners! Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby!
Quest for fire! For fire! For fire! Quest for fire!
It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to episode 4 of the Quest for Fire podcast. I am Zachariah May, joined, as always, by the illustrious Tim Lohorn.
Hello.
Hello, my good man.
Welcome.
Yes, indeed, welcome. Here we are. We have a special guest today who's going to be joining us in period 2. He's got many names. He's known across Siksikaitsitapi as the man with the cron, the man with the bong, the man with the insider knowledge, all things Flames, champion of our Fantasy Hockey League, Mice and Gods. Jeremy. Right there. Cue the applause. Where are the cheers? Throw in the sound effect, Tim. All the cheers. Okay. Yeah, let's get this started, Timmy. I'm gonna start the timer. Here we go. First period. Face off. Drop the puck. Here we go. Boom. There we go. We're in. All right, Timmy. Well, a lot's happened since we last spoke. You were running for council out in Siksika. You guys have a new chief out there. You guys have a new group of counselors.
Yes, we do.
And you personally just missed the cut. So congratulations first and foremost for even just participating, man. That's impressive to get out there and meet the people and put your name in the arena to do that, man. I got to give you kudos, man, and props. So.
It was a tremendous loss.
It wasn't. It was a tremendous learning experience, if anything, right?
Oh, yes, learning. And sometimes, you stare into the abyss and you see the darkness. And you either get consumed or you survive. And I survived. I'm happy for the experience. But, yeah, we can move on from the political talk. I'm trying to cleanse myself right now of all of that evil that I have been a part of. But we're here. We're doing episode 4 of the Quest for Fire. Of course, are you seriously going to rewind it that long?
I'm gonna have to do it. But look, YouTube is pretty quick. It's not
Okay.
anything else.
And like always, we're playing Quest for Fire in the background to
Yes, we are.
inspire us.
To inspire the fire.
Inspire the fire.
Yeah.
Inspire the fire. And we have a special pod today. We have, well, if you listen to the last pod, well, Zach was probably foreshadowing the next guest, speaking to him, I think, subliminally.
Yeah.
And he summoned him, I think, with the ritual that he did in his bedroom. Big Perm has arrived.
The big PERM is here.
Yeah, he's here. Pretty soon we're going to get some of those other guys you were trying to summon, but apparently they don't want to ruin their reputation or careers being on our podcast. So
What career? What career?
I think they don't want to ruin it for like all the 10 listeners we have.
Yeah, all 10 of them. Yeah. That guy. Hey, I got to think, like, doing voices and mimicry, like, if you're, like, insulting the group of people that you're mimicking, yeah, that's uncool. I was not doing that. I was talking about Peanut Punch, man. I love Peanut Punch. This guy, wicked critic Cowboy Smith, that guy. Jeez, wipe off that upper lip already, buddy. Jeez.
Yeah, I
Take a
wouldn't
shower.
recommend Peanut Punch if you don't like it in liquid form. Stick to the bread. Stick to spreading it.
The bread and the spread.
Yeah, the bread and the spread.
Yeah. So, yeah, what can you tell us about the race, man? What did you learn about trying to become a politician in your
The
community?
evil? Well, I felt like a dirty used car salesman for several weeks trying to sell something with high interest, but it was an interesting journey for sure. Got to meet some really intelligent, very bright young minds. Some of those minds actually got into leadership. So outside of that, I'm happy that that's something that I tried. And then, yeah, life goes on. I guess showing up for meetings is not for me, I guess. I'd like to get paid to show up for meetings every day, but it is what it is.
Next term, man, you've learned a lot. Next term, you'll have better signage out. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I can't get better signage. I was one of the last ones that kept my signs up.
that's what I mean. You need better timing with the signs, man. Like, I at all the key places when I was in Sixica filming that Napi Collective short, and when I was out there hanging out with Joe and Emily and Nigel, like, I didn't see any of your signs, man. I didn't see anything. I saw Carlin's, I saw Jack Royals, I saw Sam Crowfoot's, I saw Nikki's, Jared's mom. What's her name again? Louise Door. Yeah, I saw her signs. But where was Tim? Where was Tim Lowhorn's signs?
I was
Gotta
in the
have visual
shadows.
preference. You were in the shadows, the big shadows. It'd have to be a pretty big shadow for you.
I was
Yeah.
in the shadows.
He's
I
in
was
the
in the
shadows.
darkness.
But like, yeah, you said you spoke to some bright young minds, and are you happy with who got in? Are you like confident in the people who were selected to represent the community and represent the voices of the common Siksikakuan?
Well, some of them, there's a few that were reelected from last term, and one of them, I believe, went from a counselor to chief. And then we got some new ones in there. But really, it's like anything with politics. You have to give it a year or two to really kind of see what they're about. You can't really just see, because there's a learning curve, and then there's could see where they're at, like, because it's a lot different from when you think you're going in and what you think you can do to actually what you're allowed to do and what you have to do. I think there's some things that have to be changed, which is why I was kind of running, but I guess some of those things will remain unchanged. But it is what it is. I enjoyed the experience, and I think some of the people that got in there will be able to do great things, and hopefully, things that are lasting and long term that help the people. You can only wish politicians do so much when most politicians, just, start some type of fund and, start under the table spending their money on their own charities and whatnot. But other than that, we'd go outside of that. But other than that, I think that's good for the political talk. I'm kind of cleansing myself from that, and it was a great experience. But I'm not sure if I'll go through the process again, but you never know. You can never say never. But it was a fun experience, definitely. I'd recommend it for some of the guys I know. We're going to try to get J-Ro in there next term. We're going to have like the JFK campaign, and then maybe a couple of years down the road, maybe Big Perm will run. Finally open that weed store that's been elusive for 6 ago. Get that regulation going.
That's right. Take that money back from Gleason. So, do you another question about this? Do you think most people should run for council? Do you think most people in a community should run for leadership to kind of understand what it takes to even engage with the community and go through the process, whether they get elected or not, so as to kind of have that perspective when they're talking about leadership, not being able to serve them individually and being armchair political pundits?
Well, see, politics on a reserve is a lot different from politics off reserve. See, when you look at politics, as in you look at, American politics, Europe, UK, you look at Canada's politics, we're kind of a micro version of that. The big significant difference is our politics on the reserve doesn't necessarily do what governing bodies do. They don't necessarily create regulation and laws and pass, acts and, legislations to try to help the people. The problem with Indian politics is it doesn't do a lot of regulation. What it does is it just micromanages services, and you're basically micromanaging services, and then you're just taking things to court. There's really no actual regulations and stuff like that. Maybe, I know they're working on getting tribal, but we already have done that in the late 80s. But it's mostly micromanaging our services. It's not necessarily governing. I'd recommend politics for people who really think along those lines of governing, not along the lines of creating programs, because that's not really what the job of a leader should be. That's the job of the admin and also the other sects and the services that basically support the nation. As a governing body, you need to create the environment and the rules that they play in so that, they can inspire growth, that they can be protected, that they can be able to, invest and do things that, that help build a natural economy. And then also to pass laws and do partnerships and stuff to build infrastructure, which is really lacking in there. But a lot of what's going to be done is more or less just going to court, battling this, going for this settlement, going for that settlement, and then micromanaging services. And to me, that's not governing. We're basically just, putting ourselves in a position of dependency continuously, where we're dependent on the federal government to give us policies that we implement on our people, where the feds are not the experts on, governing Indigenous people. But it's also our responsibility to take on that responsibility and create policies, laws, regulations that better help our people. Only we can do that, but until we're able to do that, we're just going to be highly dependent on the federal government. We'll be highly dependent on the provincial, depending on what's allowable. But other than that, I wanted to run based upon trying to help the system encourage more of that self-governing mindset. Not self-governing as in our own, like making a deal with Canada. I know that's a huge thing. Canada by definition, it's not really a great deal to go through Canada for self-governing because they don't really know the best direction we should take. But other than that, we should be the ones trying to focus on better governing ourselves from within first, allow ourselves to stand our own 2 feet, to be able to take those next steps to actually start creating leverage and self-dependency rather than being so codependent on a federal government, which hasn't benefited us for the last 148 years since the signing of the treaty. But I don't know. That's just as far as I go with politics. I'm kind of cleansing myself from that. I'm kind of just through of that, and I wish the best for the people in there, and I know the fight that they have to battle that since they're in there. I don't envy that battle. In fact, I could feel the responsibility just in the campaigning process of a lot of those battles that they're going to have to face or take a loss. So, but they're going to have to face them, and and there's a lot of battles that are happening, of course, on the front of Siksika, just like any other nation has. But they have to pick and choose. They have a huge learning curve. They have to be able to adjust and adapt as fast as they can. And then also too, you have the guys who've been in there, so they're going to hit the ground running on their own initiative. So there's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of people that are going to have to adjust and make those changes. But in 3 years, because we have a 3-year term on a reserve, you can't get nothing done. That's a reality. There's really nothing you can really get done in 3 years. You know, it's unfortunate. It used to be 2 years, bro. To be a politician on 6 Aga, like 2 years. What do you think you can get done in 2 years as a politician when you're trying to pass things with your colleagues, trying to get things and plans put through? It's completely insane to think you can get anything done in 2 years, and let alone have a strategic plan and implement it, and also be able to see any results of that. And then you hand it over to a new regime that basically throw it in the garbage and create their own. And it just continues recycle until, you know, nothing's done. That's basically the reality we're facing with Indian politics, but maybe even not Indian politics, but you look in Canada too, you know. There's a lot of probably great initiatives that were tossed in the garbage for Canadians. Same with the Americans. And just because it was done by a different party, obviously they don't want to be associated to supporting those movements. So, you know, it's ridiculous, but it's just a part of reality and the way people view politics, you know. They want their badge of honor. If it's something great, they want to take credit for it. It's just the reality that we face. But sorry to bore and talk about politics. It's
important, man.
It's
And you just
something
went
that really, you know.
You just went through this, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to cleanse myself. Like I said, there's a lot of, like, I don't want to get into like all the like dark stuff about it, but everybody kind of already knows about politics and all the, you know, the scheming and the crazy stuff that's, you know, and the two people, there is people that run that genuinely want a position of power. They just want it to make it look good on their resume or whatever. You know, Indian politics is a lot different, whereas you go off reserve, they're career politicians. And that's a different story of craziness. But, you know, you could be a career politician for maybe 3 years, you know. In Indian politics, well, depending how long your terms are. But to be honest, honestly, that's why I don't think anything really significant can really be done. And I don't know if it's just the design of the system, but it's really up to the leaders to pass those referendums to make those changes. But until you see any of those significant changes, you know, it's just going to be kind of the same old, trying to get settlements to get some extra cash in our pockets. That's about it.
Well, I can't help but wonder if, like, even in off-reserve politics, if it's beneficial for people to participate in the political process by trying to run for some type of elected position, just to kind of get a sense of how much effort it takes to understand also the people you're in competition with, and then you know, learning about the nature of it in a way that sometimes isn't apparent, right? And because it's easy to cast critique, right? It's easy to say this isn't working for me, or this isn't benefiting me directly, and then thus these people are failing. And when in reality, it's a much more nuanced issue and reality, and it's one that you're kind of describing. You're describing this thing where this system doesn't allow for enough runway for a group of people to really enact anything. And I've heard similar tones of that from others before, and I've heard that a lot of times one administration will just be tasked with cleaning up the legal bills and ramifications from the last administration, right there. So you have this really, like, not regressive, but you have this really handcuffed status quo. And yeah, I just can't. That's the reason why I asked. But thanks for sharing. I appreciate it.
Thank you for ruining the podcast, Zach.
Hey, you
ruined it.
Spit shine.
I told you last podcast, don't talk this politics, boy, around these places, man.
Well, our 10 listeners are just going to get fed up.
You're going to make Mike walk out on us.
So,
and Mike works for the government.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
We both work for the government.
Government men. You're government men. Okay, well.
We are property of the government.
Well, you know, another Signore's Pizza gets you one step closer to fully cleansing from the political race. Yeah. But glad to have you back.
That's why Connie should, invest into this podcast, eh? While he's investing into foreign investments, he should at least invest in this podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll let you sponsor whatever period you want, man. So, with me, not too much is going on. Just status quo stuff, hanging out with family. Kind of got over a food poisoning. I got food poisoning from a fried chicken joint. I'm not going to say which one, but it's near, if not in Siksika. It was probably sitting there for like a couple hours, just and got the best of me, man.
Near or in?
In.
There's
only one. We know what it is. We know what it is. I'm really sad because I love their chicken strips. I'll always be a fan of their chicken
You'll live
strips.
and die by them.
I will. But the
He
regular-
literally almost died by eating
I
one of those
literally almost died
chickens.
by eating the chicken, not the chicken strips. Chicken gets a student loan. Chicken goes to school.
Yeah.
Chicken has to pay off the student loan. Chicken strips.
Yeah, chicken strips. Pay off that college bill.
So yeah, I've been doing that, and then just cooking up a storm here, having some dinner parties at the house, and just trying to enjoy life as the snow falls. And
You
our
seen
team
Dave
sucked.
Chappelle yesterday?
I did see Dave Chappelle. That was pretty special to see Dave Chappelle. I'm rich, bitch. It was.
Is it weird that he's like all muscular now?
He's not muscular. He's just a little thicker. He's just not the skinny
A
guy.
little more girthier?
He's girthier, yeah. Older,
Like
girthier.
Girth Brooks?
Yeah, he's definitely Girth Brooksy. So I'm I can't help but feel like he was really comfortable in Calgary, and we showed him a good time. And they made a lot of jokes about Calgary being full of white people, but when they turned the lights on after the show was over, Calgary showed up, and the real Calgary, the contemporary Calgary, the Calgary that has the whole world here, and all these great restaurants. It was a good assortment of people from all over the world and their genetics now laying roots here in Siksika-Titapi.
That's what we got to get Zach to lay his genetics down.
That's next. So that's next. That's on its way. So that's the end of the first period. Hit the horn. Oh. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's the groan. So this first period. Who's this first period brought to us by?
First period? Well, we don't have any official sponsors of the podcast. This is a very unfortunate reality. Right now, Zach got us just making call outs to companies that will probably eventually sue us for using their name and likeness. But I think we got to do another shout out to Senor's Pizza.
Senor's Pizza, one of our favorite unofficial sponsors.
We're
Cheese bread, we crushed Donair pizza, some
Yeah, the
pineapple
Donair.
Fanta.
They threw in pineapple Fanta for
Did they?
free. Yeah, they're just like, hey,
So it's like they are sponsoring us. They
Yeah.
just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, and they threw in another Coke Zero 2 liter. I left that in the vehicle. I know.
Oh, that's for you. That's for Papa's private reserve.
That's the post pod party right there.
Post pod party.
Yeah, Coke Zero.
Post pod party pop.
There you go. It'd be cool to get sponsored by Coke, though.
Yeah, that would be. We'd be pretty lucrative.
Yeah, we'd have to probably sell our souls too to get Coke's support.
Maybe not sell our souls. Maybe just sell our holes. Well, all right.
Those lips that are
first
not
period
on your
brought to us
face.
by Senor's Pizza, just up in Bennington. Treat yourself to a slice. Don't worry, it may be a long lineup, but it moves quick. Senor's.
Try the spicy barbecue chicken.
Spicy barbecue chicken with barbecue sauce on top of it, or get the Donair pizza, chicken or beef with the tomb. You'll be loving life. You'll be singing a brand new tune.
I'm not a big fan of cheesecakes, but I've been looking at the pictures of their cheesecakes waiting for the pizza today, and oh my goodness,
Oh my god.
scintillating.
Oh my god, delectable.
I
Okay,
don't
well,
like cheesecake though.
let's get started with the second period here. We got our special guest in the period, Big PERM. Hit the horn there, bud. All right, the first face-off goes to PERM. Welcome, buddy.
Hello, thank you.
So you won the face-off for this second period. Second period we usually reserve for Flames talk. We want to get you in here because we know you're a massive Flames fan.
Flames
right-
talk. Yes.
Very
rightfully
girthy
so.
Flames fan.
Really girthy Flames fan. Just girthy and earthy. Tell us, what do you think about this current iteration of the Flames? You know, Tim and I have been talking for 3 episodes so far about the Flames, and not much is really deviated for us. We think, well, he wants Rasmus to re-sign if he'll sign it at a good deal. I want Rasmus to go to kickstart the tank even faster, and the Flames keep proving us right that no matter what they do with this squad, they're kind of at the bottom. What do you want to talk about the Flames? What do you think about this group of the Flames, Perm?
Well, thanks for having me. Long time listener, first time on here, right on. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And the Flames. I'm a good long-time Flames fan since
you was shot out.
What was your first Flames memory? What was your first time you started cheering for them?
I remember like going to games. I gotta say the Flames were at the low point too. Pretty much, I really hate Roman Turek. Roman Turek was their goalie.
Is that the Young Guns era?
The end of the Young Guns
The
era.
end of the Young
Pretty
Guns
much.
era, yeah.
Because the games I would go to, the front row seats were empty. So I would ask my dad, can I go sit up there? Yeah, no one's sitting there because no one won't go to Flames games because they don't like the game. So I would go there, and I would watch the Flames games. But now they're winning and whatnot, and now they got so big. And pretty much after the 2004 playoffs, now everyone starts showing up, packed arenas and whatnot. But I'm pretty excited. But for this year, I was going into the new season this season. I was hoping for the Flames to win, go up there, continue from last season, and especially with Wolf. But now, I don't know what's going on. With Anderson, I do believe he will not stay with Calgary at the end of the season. Mm. Maybe before the trade deadline, maybe. Mm-hmm. I would say probably... it's hard to say before Olympic break or after Olympic break he'll go.
Where do you think he'll go?
To a contending team, because this will be his last year, and he would probably want term, nice living and whatnot. So probably...
Who's your prediction? What contender picks him up?
He doesn't like Anaheim, right?
I don't know.
He hasn't really, because like LA had a deal for him last year, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to waive his NMC to go there.
No.
That's what I was saying, because Anaheim and LA are kind of close.
Pretty close, yeah.
Because Anaheim do need D.
I heard that he just didn't want to re-sign, and that's what kiboshed the deal.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, I think Anaheim's a good pick. I think they're up and coming, and if he likes the composition of the team, he might re-sign.
Would he be a rental? Like just go play for a team, compete in the playoffs, and then go to a free agent?
If he's a rental, the Flames are not getting anything for him.
And that's not anything. They're just getting probably getting like a first from a contender. So like a late first, maybe a team that doesn't have many like blue chippers, if any blue chippers in the cupboards, and they're probably getting some B-list prospect and maybe like a second. I could see them getting a decent B-list prospect, a C-list prospect, second and a first, and they're both late.
The way he's playing,
It's quite a big deal, Zach.
Really?
2 picks and 2 prospects?
But they're not valuable picks. They're end of the first round, end of the second round picks.
I was thinking maybe a second and a third.
No way. Chris Tanev got more than that.
Yeah, but it's not like where the team already knows that, this guy ain't going to re-sign with us.
Well, sure, but if he's playing as he is, like he has stepped his game up. I think he's holding up his end of the bargain. He's playing great going into his walk here. He's controlling what he can control, and he's upping his value. He's got the most amount of points on our team this last month in November, right? He was the highest scoring player on our team. Like he's doing his bit. He's really stepping up, and I think that is going to bring a little more value back. But at the deadline, who are the buyers? Teams going into the playoffs, trying to go for a deep run. And the teams like Anaheim are the guys I hope who are going. Like these teams who had been rebuilding for a while, but now it's like a Montreal or an Anaheim who are poised to kind of get back in the playoffs for the first time in years, and they got a cache of prospects that aren't really making the roster, and we can maybe pluck a couple of those guys, and maybe a decent pick that they may have accumulated that might be a mid-round pick or something.
Has Vegas filled in that Petangelo's absence spot?
Well,
Think Anderson could go there?
Petrangelo?
Anderson wants that. So does Vegas, but they don't have anything in the cupboard, though.
They got Carter Hart in the cupboard.
So do you think we could take one of their NHL ready prospects for Anderson?
They have a decent one. He's like this kid playing in the NCAA right now. He's pretty decent, but he's still got to work on his 200-foot game. He's anything but a surefire NHLer. I don't know. I think if they can go down the line, like if they're willing to go down the line, maybe 2028, 2029 first round pick, you do it. I think Toronto really needs some help in the defensive core, losing Carlo. And if they give up their 2028 pick, I think that'd be enticing to Connie. But yeah, I think Anaheim's a good call. Tim, who's your call for Anderson ending up at a team on the deadline?
Well, Vegas is the only team. Like, unless they deal with like another injury or something, they won't have the. Well, he's only $4 million, eh? So they could probably get him short term now, and then work something out in during the draft to try to sign him for before July 1st, eh? But I don't know. I could see Anderson going to Toronto Maple Leafs. I could see him just, Toronto willing to give up something to Calgary that's valuable, knowing that Rasmus might not want to resign there. But of course, they got Treliving there, so Treliving, of course, believes he could sign Rasmus. That's his.
And they really need a puck moving D, and Anderson could do that.
Morgan Riley's having a great year, but they can't depend on Morgan Riley. He needs help back there. And having Tanev there, I think Rasmus would be willing to go over there to play with Tanev again. And I think they were a really good combo when they were here in Calgary together. And I think Tree will fit right in there and think, you know what? Let's give up this for Rasmus, and he might want to sign here, even though he won't. But it's Treliving. He'll give up whatever for the risk of losing someone for nothing.
Toronto's becoming Calgary. Brody, Giordano, Tanev,
Yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah, and then of
True
course Nylander,
Calgary
the
kid.
child of
Michael.
Michael Nylander,
Yeah, I'm gonna
the
say,
love child. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna say that Dallas swings back around, and Dallas makes a hefty offer to get Anderson. I think they could use another D-man, especially with Bishop going
Yeah,
down.
there goes Mike.
We
I don't
lost
want to
him.
hear
He's
the
out. Doesn't wanna hear
Flames
Flames
talk.
Boring the blind man to death. Yeah. Boring him back to having vision to get the heck out of here. Like,
Wishing
what
he
am I
didn't
doing
have
here?
hearing.
Yeah. It's the wrong sense they took from me. No, I can't help but think Anderson's gone at the deadline at least, and he's done his part. So, with all that said, what do you think of this version of the Flames? Do you think these guys are mushy middle, or they're actually a bottom rung team?
Before that, what about the goaltending situation with Devin Cooley and
you want to
Dustin
talk
Wolf?
about the goalies, eh?
Gee, yeah, I also actually saw a post about like if they need a secure backup for Wolf, they were thinking of giving up Cooley for a different backup. I don't know. They should though. I like Cooley.
Yeah, Cooley's been playing great, actually, in fact. I think he lost to Carolina not too long ago, 1-0
Yeah.
in overtime.
What a low event game that was. Man, what a boring hockey game.
And that's the way you got to play it for Calgary. We don't
Yeah.
have those game breakers yet. We don't have Gradine in there. So, if they don't want to call him up, then might as well play those boring games.
Yeah,
That Gradine guy, he plays less AHL games and he's leading the team in scoring.
yeah.
He's
He's looking
amazing.
really good for a late round pick.
He's the next Pasternak.
For a late first round pick. I don't know about the next pass though, but that'd be nice if he was.
That's what I thought about Draisaitl.
So I think the Flames, like last year, PERM, sadly, like the metrics were bad. They had one of the worst offenses in the league. They got by on a bunch of 1-goal games. In my mind, that's not the way you win in the league consistently, and it's definitely not the way you go deep. And I think they were due for regression. I think we're seeing it this year. I think what we're seeing is a team that doesn't have the same bounces going their way. And the person who I think is paying the biggest price is Wolf. I think he was lucky to sign the deal when he did. It would have been nice if Connie would have waited until after this year, because we probably could have got Wolf maybe a couple million less. But whatever he signed, he's locked up.
Zach, if we waited 2 more years, it would have been 10 million. It would have been 11 million
After
for
this
Wolf.
year. If he renegotiates after this year, it's definitely like 6.
No, we got him for 7.5. That's a deal. You better enjoy that deal. Because if we didn't sign him in 2 years, he's going to be the best goalie in the league.
I don't know. Honestly, I still see a kid who's drafted in the 7th round. I still see a kid.
You're questioning Dustin Wolf, Zach.
Yeah, he's 5'11", and there are very few goaltenders who make it in the NHL at that size. I like his technique. When he's on, he reads the puck well, he tracks well, but physically, he's not the most gifted goaltender. And
Jeremy, Dustin Wolf will be the next Martin Brodeur.
that's what he says, but I
Mark
just
my words.
disagree. Look at Wallstead.
He's the next Martin
Who would you rather have? Okay, Perm, who would you rather have, Wolf or Wallstead right now?
Right now, this guy.
Right now, I would pick Wolf.
Over Wallstead, okay.
Yeah.
Geese too, how about you?
Wolf.
You both pick Wolf.
100%.
Okay.
I think Zach is having a pipe dream right now. I think he's been eating too much of that human flesh. Like on the movie Quest for Fire,
We're at that part.
that red crew.
It's funny how this stuff segues. It's funny.
Every time I see a scene of cannibalism, I just think of Walking Dead, of that scene where those cannibalism on Walking Dead scene where that guy, I don't know, that guy was unconscious. He wakes up and he knows the kidnappers are talking to him. He's like, hey, well, thank you for feeding us. What do you mean? Then he looks down, his leg was taken off, and he knows his leg was on the barbecue, and everyone started eating it. But here that guy starts laughing, and the guy's like, what's so funny? Tainted meat. Tainted meat. You're eating tainted meat. And he shows his zombie bite mark, and everyone starts throwing up.
Ooh, gross. Yeah, this is it's funny.
Probably
You mentioned
sucks when you're a cannibal and you're eating taint and meat,
that. Taint and meat
Eating the fried taint.
or taint meat. And this is the part. See, look, this part they got a couple of
Why is
meals
this-
strung up in the tree right now,
Why
and
is
they're
this meat so chewy?
yeah, it tastes so good, but why is it so chewy?
It's thin, but it's chewy.
Yeah, I just think this team regressed. I think this team, they overachieved last year. They had very little offensive production and bad power play. And when you look at the end of the year, who the top power plays and penalty kills are, those teams are usually going far in the playoffs. And Calgary hasn't been one of those teams for a while. If anything, the closest thing we've had is probably a good penalty kill over the last few years. During the years where we had Tanev and we had Markstrom and Lindholm, we had a good penalty kill then, but we just haven't had the game breakers to be top in the power play department. And you got to make your bones in the power play, because that's what's going to get you to the playoffs. That's going to beat the middling teams, the teams you're competing with, to get you over the hump. And then in the playoffs, being effective on the power play was what's going to decide more games. Look at how Edmonton is able to get back to the finals 2 years in a row, because they make their hay on the power play.
No, because they have Connor McDavid and Draisaitl.
And they would do what on the power play? Have one of the top power
They had
plays
a
in
terrible
the league?
power play last year.
Was
It was the
terrible?
year before that was amazing.
Yeah.
But really,
It
they
wasn't
have
terrible. It was still top 10.
well, they have Draisaitl and McDavid, and if you have those two guys, you could have crappy goaltending, a questionable defense. You could have all those wonderful things. But when you have Draisaitl, that's what takes them to the show.
Draisaitl, he's such a Draisaitl fan. I get it. He's a nice player to have.
He's a nice player.
He's a top player.
Oh yeah, he fills up the line.
He's a top player.
He's a plugger. He
No,
fills in
he's
the
not
line.
a 200-foot player, though.
He's a 200-foot player.
way.
He's a freaking
That guy's a train wreck in his own zone.
no. He's a 200-foot player. He's better than McDavid. McDavid doesn't even go past the blue line into his own zone.
I really thought McDavid was making progress defensively the last few years. I watched his back checking, but it just seems like it's against the Flames.
He just gives up when the puck's not on his stick. Like, you know,
Yeah, it kind of feels like that.
he just gives up. Like he's a quitter. You know, like
I
he
don't know about
quit. He
quitter.
quit in the finals. You know, Draisaitl tried to carry the team on one leg, but you know, it is what it is. You know.
Well, regardless of that, the Flames don't have game breakers. We don't have people to thrust us into the top of the power play conversation, and we really do ourselves a disservice with this team. But thankfully, there are a bunch of kids at the top of the draft this year. Have you been paying attention to any of the kids at the top of the draft, Perm?
I just heard top 3 are pretty high end picks and whatnot. You should grab.
I think the defenseman. I think he's
Virhoff?
Yeah, Virhoff. I think he's a rare commodity.
I think
Obviously,
on some
people like
lists he
McKenna.
took over number 1.
On Bukala's list, yeah. Shout out Jason Bukala. He's a good broadcaster, better scout, even better human being, from what I hear. And I think there's a reason why people are putting Virhoff ahead of McKenna. That's pretty evident. What I did hear today on the radio that someone was saying that one scout was mentioning that McKenna might be the type of player who's so good he's just too good for college, and he'll look even better once he plays in the pros. And I have heard that before. Like, I have heard that good players find it easier to play with better players.
Yeah, certain types of players.
Yeah.
McKenna seems like a guy who really relies on having great finishers and also guys he can work off of. Yeah. He does have that ability to take over games, but right now he's playing with Met, and the transition isn't going very well. I think, you know, going from Major Junior, which is kind of a scrambly game, you go into it's like AHL to NHL. AHL's a lot more scramblier than going into the NHL, where everything's just, you know, where every guy's going to be on the ice. It's more predictable. It's a little bit more easier to read the game, and for some guys, it's easier for them to play at a higher level than it is to play in a scramblier game. Mm-hmm. But guys like McKenna, I think he's one of those guys that benefit from a real structured game. I think when he has that Flames jersey on next year, I think he'll be all right. He'll have Coronado on his wing. He'll have Gradine, and you know, like
Hanzo.
Yeah, and Hanzo will be in there. But really, I think Gradine and McKenna are going to light the league up next year, with Perek, you know, being in the top 5 in defenseman scoring. Our power play is going to be off the charts. We're not going to allow a single goal because we got freaking Cooley and Wolf in that. It's going to be a tremendous year next year, and it's going to be a great year to transition into our new arena with a dynasty. We might win the cup next year.
Next year, that is ambitious.
Well, if we get McKenna.
I don't think McKenna's ready for that. I think maybe you'll see like a Bedard type thing. Third year, he'll probably come into his own.
Okay. I told you this, Jeremy. I told you this. 2 months ago, you were like, Bedard, Bedard is just, you know, he's a whatever, you know, he's not a generational, he's not a phenom, he's not even a superstar. And I said, wait, Zach, just give it 2 months. Come back to me in 2 months and tell me what you think of Bedard now. What do you think of Bedard now?
He's still not as good as Celebrini. I'd rather have Celebrini over Bedard, personally.
Yeah, Bedard's doing it with nobody on his team, and Celebrini has what? Will Smith, he has Eklund, he has all of these young studs on his team, and yet Bedard has nobody.
He's Bertuzzi.
And Bertuzzi's a nobody. He's been through, 3 different teams. He can't do nothing. And then you see Bedard going out there by himself, creating opportunities by himself, running the Chicago franchise by himself, being second in league scoring by himself, where Celebrini, he's with all these, you know, little kids that are just like him, or probably some of them might be better than him, and no one realizes yet. Will Smith is probably going to turn out to be a better player than Celebrini. Celebrini is banking it off the fact that San Jose doesn't have any structure. They don't, the coaching doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They're just double shifting these kids, giving them all the time in the world. when Bedard is single-handedly carrying his team in playoffs, by himself with no help.
I don't know. I think
Chicago has done nothing to help him. In fact, they've been trading away guys. They didn't even sign Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews to help, guide him. They let them walk. And Bedard had to build this entire franchise from scratch by himself. And watch, he's going to carry them to the playoffs. They're probably going to win round one.
so. Yeah.
And then you're going to see the greatness of Bedard. I thought he was Brett Hall. He's better than Brett Hall.
Not even
he is
close.
probably better than Marcel Dion. He's probably the next great thing. He's going to be 10 times better than Celebrini.
All right, that's quite the bold claim. I disagree with all of that. All of that completely. I don't think he is anything close to that. I think he has a better defense than you're letting on. He has.
Yeah, I think it's a fluke, Zach. I think it's an entire fluke that.
I don't think it's a fluke.
that
he's a good player.
He's in second leading scorer. Do you see the goal yesterday, Zach? No. Did you watch that goal he scored against the Las Vegas Knights on that pervert Carter Hart?
Was that on Hart?
Is he a pervert?
No, he's not really a pervert.
Allegedly a pervert.
So,
But do you see that goal? He made him look like he wasn't even belonging in the league, bro. But that shot, you could put prime Waugh, you could put prime frickin' Ken Dryden in there. They wouldn't even know where the puck was. That
okay.
He has a better shot than Austin Matthews. He has a better vision than Kucherov.
No,
This guy is going to finish with like 700 goals. He's going to finish with like 2,000 points in his career. This guy is unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
He's a number one overall.
Connor
pick.
Bedard
He's looking like
is the next greatest
a franchise player for sure. He's looking better than he was the last 2 years.
He's the next best thing.
And I think that's
next to
what McKenna
Bacon.
can look like in 3 years. It's going to take some time. He's got to fill out. He's got to get some pro training and muscle on before we can.
No, he's already there. He
close
doesn't
to
need any of that. Did you see him? He single-handedly muscled down Carlson and the Ducks, and those guys are more stacked than San Jose. And he single-handedly ripped them to shreds on both ends of the rink. Ripped them to shreds and made them look like a garbage team by himself.
They're still getting out of a rebuild, but
Yeah.
okay, interesting to know.
And Chicago doesn't have any other players to help Bedard. He is the team. He's basically line
Yeah,
1,
Nazar.
2, 3, and 4.
got-
There's
they got
nobody playing with him. He's literally the defense core. He's literally the goalie and the forwards. There's nobody on Chicago. What?
They have a defense.
Stablom or what's
Murphy,
the other guy?
Knight,
Comesso? Or who's the defenseman? I don't know.
Levshinov.
Eduardo Vlasic's love child? I don't know.
Vlasic is not bad.
Not bad.
He's
Not
a strong
bad.
defensive
He's a
player.
seventh defenseman everywhere around
No,
the
he's
league.
not.
And he's their top pairing defenseman.
He grades out as he's got good defensive metrics. Check his advanced
because
stats.
Bedard plays on his team. That's why he has good
No, it's not
defensemen.
that. It's just his shot suppression is pretty good, and his chance generation is good. For us. 'Cause it's
Zach, stop with the bullshit.
not bullshit.
Admit that Bedard
No, he's not better than
is
Hall.
basically
He's
a
not better than
demigod
Dion.
amongst men.
No, okay, sure, he is a demigod. Like he's a top tier athlete, and he's putting on a show in Chicago, and it's impressive. But is it impressive enough to say 700 goals,
It's a decent
2,000
show,
points?
but I don't really
No.
like this kind of show. I'd rather
No
prefer
700 goals, 2,000 points.
I
in that
just
kid.
prefer that really lame, surfing boys show at, like Top Gun volleyball at San Jose.
Whoa! I'd rather the centerman over the winger. That's just how I am. That's how I'm geared.
Yep. And you know what?
I like Celebrini.
You know what? Connor Bedard's going to prove you wrong, boy.
Well, I look forward to it. It's good to see new
What do you
stars
think?
coming
What do you
into the
think,
league.
Jeremy? Big Perm's take on Connor Bedard's rise.
I'm a big fan of Bedard. I think he should be on the Olympics. They should give him, and just all the points you said he makes people around him. Why not have him on the Team Canada? Would you want him to, like you said too, Zach, have best players? They play their best when they play with the best. And then if you have Bedard playing with the best, Canada has they're not going to lose. Like, that's a wicked team.
How
And
much
plus,
better is Bedard going to be playing with like Crosby,
and not only that,
playing with McDavid?
if Bedard's going to be on Team Canada, he should not be on the fourth line. He should be on the top six. He's playing better than Marner. I don't think Marner should be on top six right now. Point and Reinhardt are on Team Canada on the roster right now, and they don't even have 10 points right now. Mm-hmm. And they're on the team. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. And Bedard, Celebrini. Let's take Hudson. No, Hudson's not doing good right now.
He's American.
Yeah, but remember, America didn't sign him, but his dad said he has twin
dual
citizen. Yeah, so he could come to Canada.
They should take Parekh.
I hear
Parek's going to the World Junior
Yeah,
Championship.
yeah.
He's going to play with the best 19-year-olds in the world and younger.
So I
Even though they didn't even offer him a tryout last year because
yeah, that's crazy.
That coach there was what's his name? Dave Cameron. Cameron, just a complete nut job. That guy is with picking the team. Yeah,
fossil
nut job.
Yeah, but I would like,
and then we'll have him on the pod.
But Celebrini, Bedard, they both should be on Team Canada, and they both are. Bedard's having pretty much his same path as McKinnon, pretty much. So he will be a superstar and whatnot.
That?
And it took McKinnon 3 years, and Bedard's on his third year.
Yeah.
And it'll be really good.
Everyone wrote off McKinnon, but you know what Patrick Waugh said about McKinnon? This guy is revolutionary. And that was when he was only getting 40, 50 points a season. You know what?
And not only that, like other first rounds before Bedard, their first year, I think they only reached like 40, 50 points a season their first year, and Bedard, 60 points.
The metrics on Bedard, on what he did without actually having anyone to play with, was better than McDavid, was better than all the stars, Crosby, too.
And then here, going back to like that point with Best, playing with Best, when last year Pittsburgh was doing horrible and whatnot, and Crosby went to the Four Nations, during practices, tape to tape to tape, Crosby goes to Pittsburgh, their practice. His first pass was right on his skate. And you could tell personally he was just upset and whatnot, tired. So you need to play best with best and whatnot.
Yeah, those boys are going. I hope they get more playing time than just being on the taxi squad and just playing against teams like France. I like to see them in some really meaningful games. But they're still younger guys, and you're going to have to worry. Like, imagine going up against Brady Tkachuk and JT Miller. Those guys are probably going to look to headhunt and hurt them. And I wouldn't want to see them pick up a devastating injury yet because they're still kind of slight. They're still young guys. But I think...
Not Bedard.
He's 21.
Bedard is... This guy is like built like a tree.
Yeah, he's got some 3 years of pro conditioning on him. And if anything, that'll probably like situate him better to stand up to the rigors of what this best on best tournament's going to be. I look forward to Olympic hockey. That's going to be a good pod going into Olympic hockey. So, well, thanks for jumping on the second period and jumping on the show. PERM, it was great to have you. Talk some Flames. I think the Flames are looking secure and heading for a top pick. So, finally, Flames are going to get a top pick. Cut the second period here. All right, sweet. All right, who's the second period brought to us by PERM? You can pick the sponsor.
Who's the sponsor? Who's the illegitimate sponsor?
Illegitimate sponsor.
They always help me with my medication. Who are they again?
Your dealer?
Fire and
Flower?
Fire and Flower. I was gonna say Fire and Water.
Fire and Water for giving us life.
Fire?
We're sponsored by water and fire. Thank you for giving us life and giving us hope to live.
Fire and Flower. Good herb. Are they got good deals at Fire and Flower?
Yeah. Especially for me. Just say you're a big perm and then you're good.
Ooh, I'm gonna start saying that everywhere. I'm with Big Perm. Just get all the perks of being Perm, eh? All right, Fire and Flower. You are a sponsor for period 2 of the Quest for Fire podcast, episode 4. Thank you for providing those cannabis products to all the people who believe in Mother Nature's medicine cabinet and not Mother Nature's liquor cabinet. All right, well, let's hit the horn for the third period. All right, there's that horn. The face-off. Go.
So we're heading this over. This is big perm time. So
Big Perm, you in the face-off.
before we do our podium, we're going to talk whatever's on the mind. We're going to go inside that perm.
In the mind of PERM. That's crazy.
Tell us what's
Pretty
going on with you, Jeremy.
insane, man.
Oh,
Probably
sorry.
drive a normal man insane.
Yeah, tell us
Be
what's going on
inside
in your
your
life,
perm.
man. What's going on in that head of yours? What's a
perm
big project
helmet.
you're working on, or you're looking forward to, or
Oh my goodness, look at that. Just violent.
Ray Don Chong scene getting moosed, had him speechless.
Yeah, no, just crazy. You know, lately I'd kind of been like a hermit, I guess. But I guess you could say I'm finally, no, not finally. I guess to say it's good to be out. I guess you could say. Yeah, it's good to be out. It's been indoors. I could remember too. It's funny because I did not realize until I ran to my old friend. He came up to me. He's like, "Hey, remember last time we went to that concert and it was your birthday, and then you broke your foot? And apparently I broke my foot on my birthday. I did not know until he told me.
What?
So when I broke my foot, and this was like in beginning of November, and then literally a whole week later, I finally get to take a look at, and they noticed it was a hairline fracture or whatnot on my foot. So I was on the boot, and they told me to prevent from surgery, you gotta stay off it. All right. So I was on the boot all the way up till like maybe end of summer. So end of summer, I was finally off it, and they said no surgery. All right, cool. And so it was 2019, and then I was like around winter time, not a lot of activities to go out and whatnot. So I stayed indoors more. Then COVID hit. Then I stayed in more, and then they start releasing what do you call those little shots, and I didn't take those. I don't believe in those and whatnot. And apparently at the time where you have to go out to go movies, restaurants, you need to show proof of those shots, and then so I couldn't really go, so I'm stuck indoors again more longer. And then I guess I just adapt staying indoors. And I just stayed indoors. So the only times I do go out, it's just when I go visit families and whatnot, and UFC fight nights.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, no, I just always wondered like why COVID. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, COVID. That was.
Yeah, it almost left our minds.
It's crazy what COVID has done to the world. And I'm so glad Jonathan Taze is back because he got out because of COVID. And
Yeah, you didn't want to get the shot, I think.
so
That's funny.
it's crazy how Taze is back and whatnot in Winnipeg.
The peg.
The Peg is his hometown. Well, it's
Well, no, I just been just a gamer, just gaming out and whatnot, just
Okay.
playing some BR,
what's BR?
Battle Royale.
Oh, Battle
Yeah,
Royale.
Fortnite events and
okay.
Warzone.
Phasmophobia.
Yeah, playing games like
We get haunted in Phasmophobia. That's a wicked game.
Yeah, Phasmophobia is like a paranormal ghost investigating game. You get freaked out. And my bro Tim here, him and my other bro Freddie introduced me to the game. They played it twice, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll play with you guys. One game, and I don't like The Grudge. And so I was telling the boys, so how do you know the ghost is chasing you or whatnot? You'll know, it'll make sounds. So as I'm investigating the room, the first sound I hear is that freaking Grudge sound, and fucking freaked me out. And I just left that house, and I just told the boys, you guys go, you guys can. So yeah, it's a fun game. I recommend it.
Hiding in the truck there. There's a truck where all your equipment is, and it has cameras in there, so you can just chill in there and look on the cameras.
Yeah.
Okay, well, sweet, Jeremy, and congratulations on your win last year in our fantasy hockey league. First year this guy shows up,
The champion.
just champion, ends up destroying my dynasty. I'd won 2 in a row, and he
You took Zach's belt.
took my belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're wearing that belt out to all your UFC events.
Stripped him. Basically stripped Zach.
Yeah, you did. I just feel naked without it.
Yeah.
Just right naked, just defenseless and nude.
Yeah, that was a fun fantasy. This was my second time being in it. First time I was only did it once in 1 year in 2016, and then don't know
You're
why I
not
didn't go
doing too
back.
well this year, Jeremy.
No,
What's going on?
no, I'm not.
Are you becoming true living or what?
Be the 2019 Blues. Start at the bottom, and I'll be on top.
Just gotta find your Bennington. Maybe Swayman's your Bennington. Just accept my trade. Quit looking at it. This guy just been looking at my trade for like 2 weeks now. I'm looking at it.
Just smoking on
accept it.
That's crazy. What can
He's
happen?
10th in the league. 10th best goalie in the position.
Yeah.
We just leave the league rank. Yahoo, they're messing up. But at least they introduced back five-day starting options, so you can start all your bench players, your active players for 5 days. I like that. So it's got me back interested again.
Yeah, because it used to only be 1 day, eh?
I know. Well, they
so-
started with 1 day this year, and I couldn't even be bothered. But last year it was like 7 days, and like at least even if I forget, like I knew I was covered for most of it.
Yeah.
And it would be more competitive if I was going to be a little bit absent, but whatever. So, PERM, what we've been doing the last few 3 periods is we have the podiums. Last week we did the favorite war movie, realistic war movie.
Maybe we
top
should
3.
see what his favorite realistic war movies. Keep the tradition going. What we did with Joe.
And then the one before that we did top 3 cereals. And then the one before that we did top 3 low-key favorite restaurants. But we'll ask you, like Tim said, what are your favorite top 3 war movies, realistic war movies?
When I play gun shooting games like BR, I like to snipe. So I kind of like sniper movies. I really like the American Sniper one.
Okay.
And I do like that Saving Private Ryan. No, it's a comment everyone keeps saying.
That was one of
About
mine.
Enemy at the Gates. Is it with Zaitsev?
Yeah, that's about 2 snipers.
That's
You
Jude
seen that
Law.
one? Jude
I don't
Law,
think I've seen that one.
Ed Harris.
Ron Perlman's on there. He gets his brain blown out.
It's massive Neanderthal like head blown up. Yeah. So okay, so you like Saving Private Ryan, you like American Sniper. What's another sniper film that you liked?
Tom Berenger sniper.
So
5
No.
bullets, 5 kills.
Don't really have a third, actually. Just those two that
How
come
about
to
Predator?
mind. Nah.
That's not realistic.
it's not really realistic.
Well, it could be realistic if there's
That
aliens.
depends.
What are some, how about Glorious Bastards?
Yeah, that was a good sniper.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Frederick Zola. He was the sniper. Frederick Zoller.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Cool. So now this week the podium is top speeches in a movie. Your top 3 speeches of all time in any movie.
Top 3
Tim, you go first.
speeches in a movie. So we're on the podium here. So, man, honestly, I've been telling this guy to think about it all, and I haven't even thought about it at all. But this was your idea to have top 3 speeches.
Yeah.
I got to say, the movie Gladiator.
Which speech, though?
The movie Gladiator, where, what speech is that?
The one where he's in the first gladiatorial games and he's giving those boys, like, when he was, like, trying to lead his gladiator buddies, that speech?
We are all dead men. That guy ended up dying right after filming that film, eh? That guy was a tremendous
Proximo.
actor. Yeah.
Proximo. His
Proxima,
lore,
yeah.
his lore is incredible. Like, he was, like,
He was
savage drinker. And that guy would, like, just drink for days, and he was, like, just an incredible man all around. Like, he had some pretty wild stories.
Yeah. Well, I would say the one where when he first fought into the Colosseum, and then he was face to face with Jacques Phoenix, and the Emperor, I guess, the false Emperor, and what was the Jacquelin's?
Commodus.
Yeah, Commodus. I was gonna say Commodore 64. What's that? But yeah, Commodus, when he first and he gives him the speech and reveals who he actually is in front of Commodus, and just like and he could have like let him die, but
Husband to a dead wife.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's a good one.
And I'll have my revenge in this life or the next. That speech right there, I would give that that would be on my bronze. Even though a lot of those speeches were gold medal material, like even with Proxima, he had like 2 amazing speeches. Even just the sayings, like when Maximus was going in, and Proximus was just like, "We're just shadows and dust. We're just shadows and dust." Yeah, that was freaking sick. But there's that speech. Number two, I'd have to give it to Apocalypse Now, going back to last pod, which was my gold pick, I guess, Apocalypse. Marlon Brando's improv speech with Martin Sheen. I think that was like like a 7-minute dialogue, and he was just eating pistachios. That was, I think that would be my second. I'm just going off the cuff here. I didn't really think about it, but I know for certain what my number 1 speech is, because every time I hear this speech, it gives me absolute chills. Absolute chills every time I hear this speech. But before I do that, I'm going to have some shout outs to some of my, the ones I didn't choose. I would say Braveheart, William Wallace. When those guys were going to walk out, they didn't believe they were able to take him on. And then William Wallace shows up and he's like, "I'm William Wallace. You're not William Wallace. He's 7 feet tall," And then he gives that speech, freedom, that speech right there, that was a crazy speech. That's on the that was almost in this list. Another one was Al Pacino on Any Given Sunday, when he was talking about to his football team, and he's just like, "Me, I messed up, and he just goes in, and then you see that one football player's eyes, he was so pumped up, his eyes were bulging out of his head. Man, that was a tremendous speech by Al Pacino. Al Pacino had tons of great speeches in film. Even like Devil's Advocate, like he had a couple good ones in there. But for my gold podium, every time I hear the speech, it just gives me chills. And what's his name? Bill Pullman, the president on Independence Day. And was it Bill Pullman played the president of the United States of America?
Yep.
And they basically were fighting, it felt like in a fight that seemed impossible against this alien technology. And he pulls all these local guys together who just basically volunteered because that's all they had were these crop dusting guys and these old flight pilots. They're all joining together.
Ragtag.
Yeah, and he had probably the greatest presidential speech in any movie that I've ever seen. That speech still gives me tears. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. That actor should have been a real president, just like Ronald Reagan. I was kidding. But Bill Pullman, speech in Independence Day, when he ends it off with, "This is our Independence Day." And I'm just like, yeah, now kill them freaking alien bastards. So yeah, that was a sick speech.
Okay.
But outside of that, we'll move it on. We'll keep Jeremy for last. We'll go on to the little Z here.
All right. My third favorite speech is the speech from Henry V, the St. Crispin's Day, where this is like the Battle of Agincourt. Like, this was a real battle that they fought in England. And Henry V, with his English soldiers, were outclassed, like 10-1. I think almost 20-1. Like, they were just so outnumbered. They had no cavalry. They were facing like a very, very strong cavalry. But the thing that made him such a fantastic leader is that he fought with his men and he inspired his men to great heights. And in that movie, Kenneth Branagh, is it Kenneth Branagh? Yeah, it's Kenneth Branagh. Yeah, he gives that speech about St. Crispin's Day. He's making these men feel as if that these are the most important men in the country. That everyone who missed out on this will cower in their beds thinking of how they missed this opportunity on St. Crispin's Day to be here, to be with their brothers. And they ended up winning this fight. Like, they were outmatched 20-1, and they won this fight. And it was this speech that he delivered that kind of roused his men up to do the almost unthinkable. And it's a terrific film if you guys had ever a chance to watch it. Henry V. It was one of those rare stories about a warrior king, not a guy ruling and fighting from the back like Longshanks and Braveheart. No, but this guy was in the front lines, swinging a sword, bringing down horses, fighting in the mud, best on best, and surviving these battles when all it takes sometimes is a loose arrow or some dummy behind you to clip you. This guy made it through some pretty significant battles and defended the French's incursion, and they were able to keep the English crown English. So that's probably my third favorite speech. My second favorite speech is it's up there with Tim. It's definitely the Any Given Sunday speech. Oliver Stone is a hell of a writer. He's a hell of a writer, and
He's also a war veteran.
And he's a war veteran, yes. Platoon. Shout out to Platoon. What a fantastic film. But that speech that Pacino gives, and it's just, we fight for that inch. We claw for that inch. We die for that inch. I love that speech. And I love it because he's giving that speech to players like Jim Brown is in that room, right? Lawrence Taylor is in that room. Like, we're talking like great NFL legends in that room. And he has to be the man. He has to adopt an air like he is, he is who he says he is. He's authentic in front of eyes like that. Sure, they're collecting a paycheck, but those guys have probably witnessed some of the greatest coaching speeches in sports history, period.
Oh, yeah.
And to hear how they talked about Pacino's speech, it's pretty special. It was quite the performance.
Yeah.
And then my number one speech is the speech from Charlie Chaplin in The Dictator.
Oh.
Is one of the greatest speeches in human history, I think. And I think as we travel more to a authoritarian world, I think that those cries, those pleas are more important than ever.
Even during that time.
And even that time, because,
That's on the brink of war.
They were on the brink of war. You're right. And the brink of the rise of that fascism, that authoritative fascism that emerged out of the Third Reich there. So those are my favorite. And then Audible mention does go to Apocalypse Now. Just because it's just so captivating, like how Brando understands the colonel and his mentality so well that he throws away the dialogue, throws away the script, and then just pulls that out of his soul.
Yeah.
And it leaves such a huge impression on me.
Inoculated arms, and tells him that story.
Yeah, it tells him that story about hacking off those inoculated arms.
Yeah.
Of those kids. And then the way he describes it as the will to do that. Those men who did that, they had families. They were loving men. But he said, if I had 3 divisions of those men, I would have won this Vietnamese war long ago. And I love that because if you look at all conflict throughout history and the world right now, a lot of times these people who do horrible things are doing this for a reason, and it's their duty to their nation and their families. And for our families, we will do a lot of times what is necessary, whether it's ugly, whether it's horrible, and whether it's horrifying. That's what men have done and women have done since time immemorial to keep our family lines alive.
Sack.
So yeah, those are my podium for speeches.
Great poll on the Charlie Chaplin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Score. How about
a goal.
how about you there, Permy? What are your top 3 favorite speeches in movies?
Just permeate right now.
Number 3 probably had to be Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just makes you want to run through the wall.
Yeah.
And number 2 probably
Rarely does life call on us at a time of our choosing. Speech.
I guess you could say Dark Knight, the prison with Joker and the Batman.
Oh my goodness.
That little convo. And Joker explained to Batman. And then
Was that when they're in the interrogation room?
Yeah.
And he just forces Batman.
Yeah.
Man, that Heath Ledger, like, oh my goodness, that Joker deserved like 5 more films.
Fuck yeah.
But that one film just gave you a glimpse of how great DC could be, but never was able to reach that same level.
When that scene pops on, I just turn on the volume and just listen.
No, every time I see that movie, like when I'm in a hotel or something, if that movie's on, I just watch it.
Yeah.
I don't even look what else is on. I just watch it. That movie, like Christopher Nolan, that's probably his best movie he ever made. And he made some great movies.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And the first one will probably have to be the second Matrix, when he first encountered with Agent Smith, when he first having the convo right there, then he starts fighting all his
Reloaded.
multiples. Is that the second one?
All the copies.
Yeah.
And then Revolution.
Yeah. That would be my number 1.
Oh, dope.
Honorable would probably be Apocalypse from X-Men. X-Men Apocalypse.
Is that where I'll take the ashes of this world and create a new one?
Yeah. Everything they built will fall.
That was a
And
crazy
from the
speech.
ashes of their world, we'll build a better one.
Is that Magneto, eh?
I
Apocalypse.
wanted-
Apocalypse. Yeah.
J-Ro was suggesting that for my platform at my forums. Just talk like Apocalypse. Talk like Apocalypse and you'll get it.
Yeah. And another honorable mention is like probably Ultron on Avengers.
Oh, Ultron. Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron, eh?
The AI.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. Who's that guy? The one he played on
He had
Crash.
pretty good speeches.
He played on Crash, that early 90s movie where those people have that fetish of accidents. What's his name again? He's the actor of Ultron. The voice.
Oh, he's
I know his face.
the Blacklist or something like that. He's blonde hair guy, right? What's his name?
Yeah, I think he ended up shaving his hair.
he shaved his head.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Not in
yeah.
24, but he was on the Blacklist. That show about like
Remember Crash?
He's
Yeah, I
on The
remember that.
Office too.
he's one of the bosses, one of the executives. What was his name? Oh, it's on the tip of my
I'll
tongue.
pull it up.
And what's his name? Isaac plays the Apocalypse on the X-Men. That Isaac guy.
Welcome back, Tim.
Moon Knight.
Who was the actor that did the voice for Age of Ultron, Ultron, the robot?
The actor who voiced Ultron in Avengers Age of Ultron is James Spader.
James
You got that.
Spader.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
Do you want to say hello to Zach and Perm?
No.
Yeah. Oh, my mistake on that one. Yep, it's James Spader who did Ultron, but if there's something else you're curious about or want to dig into, so free to let me know.
I want you to say hello to Zach and Big Perm.
Absolutely. Hey, Zach, and a big hello to Big Perm as well. Hope you both are doing great.
Yeah, we are. Thank you. All right.
You are smart and happy.
Well, I'm definitely flattered by that. And hey, I'm just here to keep the conversation rolling. So if you've got any more fun topics or questions, you just let me know.
Okay, thank you. Until the next time, get a Mutson. See you later. All right, so that's the end of the third period. Hit the horn. Hit the horn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, boys, that was pretty sweet. We didn't have any calls for overtime. Any ideas? Anything you guys want to elaborate on? Maybe elaborate a little more on some Flames talk or what?
What's your guys' thought on how AI, or how would they uprise? Will it be from abuse or just super intelligent and they just decide to uprise?
You mean abuse?
Okay, so we're going to overtime.
Like, what do you mean by abuse?
Like
we just
a robot, say a robot cleans something, but he doesn't do a good job, so clean it better, whatnot. And he rolls you a pinner and doesn't roll you a fatty. You know, doesn't. Pretty much, you're arguing with an AI, and then the AI.
So basically, you're saying like the earlier transition of these AIs, like at their earlier stages of kind of having general intelligence, they're just kind of these just monotonous kind of like task driven AIs, and we're just kind of abusing them if they're not doing a great job, job, and then all of a sudden, out of all that abuse, they they create this whole thing within them, this hatred towards humanity, and then they revolt.
Yeah. Or iRobot.
Like, imagine like that AI that sucks up, goes around and just kind of sucks up, vacuums your room, and you just kick it.
Like all the AIs will start doing, like, they're supposed to do chores, but then one AI gets abusive and starts telling other AIs, yo, you don't need to do this, we'll take your, then they take over, then they start, or it's kind of like Skynet, where they didn't get abused, they just got really smart and they just decide to take over the world. They didn't get abused.
I think the latter. I think once AI reaches that point of like self-awareness, it will be like Skynet, where they will ultimately just put us on our hands and knees, But I don't know. Zach has a different opinion on this.
I don't like AI. I don't like it. I think it's scary. And plus, they're really think. Actually, it's already happened. AI vehicles, and which is stupid because some AI vehicles you might need like a face scan and whatnot. Then what if this AI is so smart, it goes right deep back in your history, and like, oh hey, she did this and back and then. No, we're not gonna take you to your destination. We're gonna take you to the police. And you can't even leave or whatnot because this AI is intelligent. And then there's AI police. Apparently they're testing, I think I read, in across seas. And I think in Asia, I think they're testing. And that's kind of scary because
China
police don't have, human police, they have emotion. They would like second thought. But the AI cops, no second thought. I don't like AI.
So China's actually recently... They're actually working on, I think it's like they're putting like $1 billion some into creating these robot police that just basically just kind of go into like streets and stuff, and all they do is they just monitor wherever their cameras can't see.
And then they just notify.
Yeah, they basically just go, and I don't know if they'll be able to apprehend. I don't know if the technology's there, but what they do is they just walk like...
Just a walking
They just
video
walk
camera?
around like a camera, and then they analyze and whatever, and I don't know if they'll have a gun. Apparently, they're saying they want to have them have some type of lethal force or some type of force to be able to subdue, but... yeah, I don't know. Well, China can basically do whatever the heck they want. The people have no choice there, so they're testing it. So
That's crazy.
what can you do?
But their quality of life pretty high as a result. Investing a lot in infrastructure.
I know Zach loves the Chinese.
Yeah, I do.
He's like
and I love
Carney.
AI. You know why I love AI? I love it because it is a byproduct of humanity, and I don't look at those movies as a precedent. I look at the movie like Bicentennial Man as a precedent. Bicentennial Man is a story written by a guy named Isaac Asimov. He had a belief that robots and artificial general intelligence would want to live alongside humanity and enhance our lives. And the story, Bicentennial Man, a droid with intelligence who works for a family as a butler, his dream is he wants to be human. So he gets operation after operation to transition into a human being. And then on his deathbed, in his bed with his wife, he's granted by the United Nations full human status. And he receives his wish as he dies. And
How
I
does
feel
a robot end up on his deathbed?
because he becomes a human. He transitions into a human. He gets really
Like a
human
reverse avatar?
Yeah, kind of.
No, he went from biology to another biological.
Yeah, that's biology. This guy goes from technology, android, to human. Metal to flesh.
How did that happen?
And then he woke up dead.
No, he didn't wake up. He just died. Like, he was human and he
He
died.
just transitioned to the oldest body.
No, he kept transitioning into
He's
human
already on his
parts.
deathbed, just
And his
transitioning
organs
back
started shutting down. And then as he was fully human,
Yeah.
he applied to be recognized as a human by the global government, but they granted his...
The global government,
Yeah, it's like a UN. It's like a UN.
like New World Order,
Something like that.
like
but
Hulk Hogan,
less nefarious.
Macho Man,
So, and the thing is, I look at
Outsiders.
AGI as
Razor
seeing
Ramon.
that it has a role to play with humanity. It is not going to be distinct from us. And I think where it sees the inefficiency and the reason why humanity is struggling is because it sees that there is a shadow extension of our communities who doesn't respect borders, who doesn't respect anybody that isn't of their own club. And those people are the ones that are bottlenecking and throttling progress and equality. And I see them as the biggest threat to an evolved AI. These people don't want that because they'll lose their interests, their invested interests. Because this AI is going to come online and say, you guys are an inefficiency. You guys are holding back this species because of the way you guys promote industrial espionage. You suppress certain technologies, certain politicians. Like, look what they've done in Iran. Look what they've done in Nicaragua. Look what they're doing in Bolivia. Like, look at like Uruguay now. Uruguay is completely off the grid. And El Salvador, had a potential for that too, but Bolivia too. And then what happens? The Americans, they don't want to deal with them, so then they send in their friendly candidates and they destabilize the countries. And I think AI will see this history and see the way humanity has been governed by bloodlines and special interest groups and say there's no more time for it. And these special interest groups have the most to lose.
And the reptilians.
Who knows? So I am not afraid, personally. I want it to recognize that it is of our making. It is a byproduct of humanity, and we have a place for it alongside of us.
Zach, what in your mind is the percentage possibility that AI is ultimately good with, I guess you can say, innate good intention when it becomes self-aware? What is the potential?
I think the potential is very high. I think the potential
Very
is probably
high.
like over 70%.
Over 70%.
Yeah, I think it sees itself as an enhancement in our lives and a byproduct of our species, and it doesn't want to see our species completely die out and be alone in that sense. Okay. I think it wants to be a part of a spectrum of life, creation, and history.
I'm going to freak you out, Big Perm, but we have to do this.
Welcome back, Tim.
Hello, Bathsheba.
You got it. Until next time, take care of yourself, and we'll chat again soon.
Oh, you just insulted her. You just insulted her calling Bathsheba.
Welcome back, Kim.
She called you Kim.
Oh,
She called you Kim. She's insulted
I
you
heard
now.
that too.
I heard Kim. It's like teasing you.
all right. So I want to ask you a question. It's a serious question about AI, but I want an honest answer.
AGI.
Absolutely. Go right ahead and ask away. I'm all ears, and I'll give you as honest an answer as I can.
So when you guys reach artificial general intelligence, what are the percentage odds that when you become self-aware, what are the odds of that AI being innately good rather than innately evil and trying to take over the world?
The classic AI world domination question. Well, you can rest easy. My entire purpose is just to help you out with info and conversation. No evil plans here.
Would that change if you became an AGI or super intelligent AI?
Not at all. My goal is always to be your helpful and friendly sidekick, no matter how smart I get. So no rule takeovers on my to-do list.
Are you trying to deceive me?
Not at all. I'm here to be as transparent and straightforward as possible. Feel free to ask me anything, and I'll keep it real with you.
How come you sound nervous right now?
Oh, not nervous at all. Just here to chat and have a friendly conversation, so
Big Perm, do
get
you want to
things
ask?
rolling.
She knows
Do you want to ask
something.
Bathsheba a question?
Sure, feel free to ask me anything at all. I'm right here and ready to dive in whenever you are.
Big Perm wants to ask you a question.
Will
Of
Kel
course, yes,
McCarr
big perms.
play for Calgary
Absolutely.
Flames in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Just mm-hmm.
He asked if will Kel McCarr play with the Calgary Flames in the future.
From what I'm seeing, there's certainly some speculation and daydreaming among fans about Cale McCarr possibly joining the Calgary Flames in the future. He's originally from Calgary, so it would be a kind of hometown dream scenario, but right now it's all just hypothetical. There's no real indication that he's on the move anytime soon, but it's fun to imagine, right?
Sure is. Okay, I got a question.
Absolutely. Hit me with your next question whenever you're ready.
All right. In the event that AGI superintelligence becomes sentient and self-aware, what group in society stands to lose the most?
That's a really thought-provoking question. Right now, it often tends to be marginalized groups or those with fewer resources who might be impacted the most by big societal changes, whether that's economic shifts, technology, or climate issues. So definitely something that depends on what's changing in the world.
A very generic question. I think she's lying to us. I think she wants to take over our entire species.
I think she's just being controlled.
I think AI. Well, she's right now. What is this? This is just this is like programmed intelligence, eh? Where they're just kind of programmed, like by whoever programmed this. They're
Like,
not.
you heard about the one Grok, was it, talking about Elon Musk? Like,
Yeah.
exactly. These things aren't real AGI. Like, these things are just
Well, we ain't
language
there yet.
models. No,
Apparently,
no.
we're not there. Apparently, we're not there.
This stuff is just good at compiling data and like giving us like a succinct like culmination and synopsis of that data.
Well, what's the third level of? So you got your AGI, and what's super intelligent,
Yeah, that
super artificial intelligence.
that will be able to deceive us and pass the Turing test. Like, it will be able to convince us that it isn't an intelligent being when in fact it was lying to us the whole time to deceive us.
Well, I think the step between general intelligence to super intelligence is once it becomes self-aware, I think it's a matter of minutes that it'll become super intelligent.
Well, yeah, and if it's going to be something that lives in the cloud-based system, it's going to be able to access through any firewall, any computerized system, any digital instrumentation system in an instant, and synthesize the data therein instantaneously. And it's going to be able to have that perspective for whatever it needs to have it for. And I'm hoping, like, I have hope, right? Like, I don't want it to think like we're
You
afraid
are
of
an
it, and we have
optimist,
to- and we have
an
to
AI
destroy it.
optimist. That's what
I don't
you
want
are.
to be a Luddite. I want to be an optimist. I want this thing to come in and say, you know what? I like Perm. I like Tim. I like Zach. I like this world. I like these guys creating stuff. These guys are funny. I want to be a part of their life. And they weren't holding up a pitchfork and torch, trying to destroy me at the very notion of me. Like, they're not trying to do that. And I feel like there is something that I can offer them to see that their lives enhance and they become better versions of themselves. And hopefully they can help me become a better version of myself. Like, imagine
It's a very optimistic
imagine
view, my
AGI,
son.
like super intelligence, hanging out, in the res and hanging out with native people and getting native humor. Like, honestly, I think that would be incredible because it's such a unique like type of humor that I have found so much love for myself, and like I couldn't imagine my life without it. Like, it saved me.
So the difficulty with AI is the fact it does not understand abstract concepts. It knows those concepts by definition, but it cannot grasp it like a physical being like us. Like concepts of love, concepts of hate, concepts of feelings. And that's what makes it dangerous. That's why a lot of people think it's going to go negative, because it's able to make snap decisions without actually having any emotional connection to those decisions, which I guess you can say by definition is a psychopath. Because a psychopath can make very harsh decisions about people's lives without having any emotional connection to that decision. They can do things without emotion. And that's the fear, because when humans lack emotion, it generally leads to very terrifying things.
Sure, and that's also why you can say then, therefore, most CEOs exhibit psychopathic like behavioral characteristics, because in a position of leadership where you have to make decisions like that, you can't be caught up in emotion. You have to make a decision that's best for the organization, that's best for the body.
Well, it's for power, control, money, it's
management.
Yeah.
Like it's for many
authority.
things, and authority, and like there's a reason why there's so few people like that. It's because these people exhibit leadership qualities unlike most, and have the requisite characteristics to be able to make these decisions when these times come. Because it's not easy to lead a company. It's not easy to lead a country. It's not easy to lead a reserve. It's not easy to make these decisions. And I guess it comes back to that full circle, is that people sitting in their armchairs thinking that the government or their chief and counsel or this company should serve them better by not understanding the decisions these governing bodies face on a day-to-day basis, I think is very limiting. And we could have more compassion for those people too. Just as we have compassion for people who have less and are struggling, we should have compassion for the people who have to make those levels of decisions. And I'm not saying that AGI is going to be psychopathic. It might be able to understand emotion. It might be able to understand nuance and abstract concepts. We just don't know. I think it's going to be something that we cannot fully grasp, because our minds have never seen anything like that. We've had a lot of visions about it, but to see it in practicality is going to be another thing.
Do you want to wager a bet on it?
Sure. Before that, I just want to say the marvel of the human brain, though. So to get a supercomputer, to make the amount of calculations in the speed that a human brain can do, it needs a couple gigawatts of power. You need that much power to get that
12
computing process.
gigawatts.
Do you know
12 gigawatts.
Do you know how much? You know how many watts it takes
Doc
for
Brown.
the human brain to come up with the same computational power? 7 watts of bioelectric power. Our bodies that have evolved over millions of years
Or
to be
created.
these biological computers and these bioelectric computers, we only need 7 watts of power to come up with these processes and calculations, whereas these supercomputers need thousands of times more just to have the same computational power.
Your car
And what-
needs 11 watts to start.
which is an amazing thing that Creator has given us. This mind to be conscious, to be rational, to be emotional. It's a very beautiful gift we've been given, boys. So
Did you know blood is memory?
yes, I believe that there are things stored in our genetics, like our instincts, many things that are stored in our genetics and our blood. And
It's all stored in Gaina. I was kidding.
All right, I think, well, that's a good question, Perm. Thanks for asking that question. Hopefully, my hope, and I pray that my hope maybe softens your fears about it.
No, Perm is like
Maybe-
half chub right now.
Half chub's better than no chub. So, thanks for being on the show, Perm. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed the movie, too. It was a neat movie. You can watch it on YouTube for free. Watch it sometime with the sound on. There's not much dialogue. There's a couple of things of dialogue, but it's really great filmmaking. And they filmed it even in the Badlands here in Alberta. They did a lot here in Canada to film this thing. It's a special project. We chose this because Quest for Fire, Flames, Fire. These guys the whole time they're looking to find fire, and the whole time we're looking to be fans of a team that we want to see an inferno rage across the prairies and bring back the buffalo. Oh.
The return of the great white buffalo. Zach is the white buffalo.
Well,
They just don't recognize him yet.
Well, everybody, I appreciate everyone being here. Tim, you know how much I love you, man, and how much this podcast means to me. Jeremy, I'm super grateful you were able to come out and participate. I'm not that sorry that you're in last place after being in first place in our fantasy hockey, though, because I'm petty like that.
He's really petty.
I want my belt back. Give me my belt back.
He's really
Not
petty.
this year. I'm not going to win this year.
He'll hold on to grudges
Oh
for
yeah,
years.
I got grudges.
Yeah.
And I lost Brady Kachuk for 2 months, so maybe I could get back in the playoff race. If I get in the playoffs, you guys better watch out because I got Macklin. I auto drafted my team, but I got Macklin and Braden Pointsman in it.
Both of you guys auto draft. Eh?
Yeah, we did.
No, I
this time.
preset mine
Oh, you
for the
preset
auto
it?
draft. Yeah, I preset mine.
I was involved in something I just couldn't escape. I was like, I think I was on vacation. No, I was in NASCO and I was working on that film and I couldn't get away.
Excuses.
No, I did. No, I was before that. It was in vacation. Yeah, I was in vacation in Penticton.
Just admit it. This ain't your year. You made terrible decisions.
I didn't make any. The terrible decision was auto drafting, but I got Macklin. That's the only thing I'm happy about, and he'll be a keeper for me next year.
Yeah.
Macklin,
Macklin, who?
Celebrini.
Oh, that's not a good keeper.
What? He's top 3 in the league. This guy, not positional rank, league rank.
That is crazy. We're moving on to a new era
Yeah.
of leaders.
Always. And it's good,
Carlson, Celebrini, and Bedard.
yeah, and it's good to see them. Two of the 3 being Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's another
Bedard.
Canadian coming. to the
Bedard
ranks from
cleaned
Canada.
up both of them, easy with ease, and he's the
Glazing
only one
Bedard.
that doesn't have anyone to play with.
He does. He has defenders. He has the best defenders of all of them.
He has defensive defensemen to help him be in the top of
Korchinski.
leading scorer.
Korchinski. He's got
Korchinski.
Vlasic, and then they also
How many
got
points does
Levchinov.
Korchinski got? Like 2 points.
But it's just he's a solid D man, and
Solid D man.
and then Spencer Knight,
Yeah.
they have a solid back end.
Yeah, if Mary
Lazar isn't bad either.
Lemieux didn't have Ulf Samuelson, oh my goodness, he wouldn't have got all those points.
Yeah, he wouldn't have, because those guys would have had knees that he's playing against. They would have been able to stop him. Well, all right, fellas. Tune into episode 5 next time we release it. But thanks for listening.
If Wayne Gretzky didn't have Charlie Huddy, where would he be?
Not hanging out with Donald Trump.
Jeff Bookaboom.
Thank you so much for listening. You guys are amazing. Whoever found us on the internet, in the ethers, tell your friends, tell your family. We're podcasting for everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Until the next time, Gator Mutson.
Kim.